This is a revisited Saturday Morning TVLog from Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. Greetings, my fellow YouTubers. I'm the Big D, and this is Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. And of course, I am here to give to you a revisited Saturday Morning TVLog. And I am proud to bring to you a real fun-filled show. Well, long before she was played by Melissa Joan Hart in live action form, we had this series here. Since my revisited Saturday Morning TV logs on the Filmation Archie series did so well, I figured for Spooktacular October, why not revisit its spin-off? I said, what the hey, let's go for it. You know who this lovely blonde is. She may not be your average ordinary girl, but she's pretty magical, and with a tug of her ear, she'll really fix things up for someone if they're in a bit of a predicament or something like that. So now, without further ado, I bring to you the one, the only, the original Sabrina the Teenage Witch. Sabrina the Teenage Witch was an animated series based off of the Archie Comics character of the same name. The series actually started out on the Archie Comedy Hour in '69, and in the following year it became its own show, as it originally was shown on CBS and was produced by Filmation. Okay, now then, I will say that when I first encountered the show, I found that this show was so fun and enjoyable. It was just so cute, so funny, and what have you, due to the fact that its titular character is Sabrina. Well, this actually started out from, well, as a spin-off of the Archie Comedy Hour the previous year, featuring new episodes of Sabrina, along with her aunties, Aunt Hilda and Aunt Zelda. Now, apparently, this came out actually the same year that the Josie and the Pussycats cartoon, which was produced by Hanna-Barbera, came out. Since Filmation failed to get that, they eventually went with got Sabrina. The writers at the Archie Comics Corporation later stated they were flabbergasted that Filmation sought to cast Sabrina, then a minor but rising character in the Archie Comics fictional universe, as a lead role in an animated series. According to the studio's co-founder, the late great Lou Scheimer, saying, "We were always looking for concepts that already had an audience or proven interest. And I actually have been interested in doing Bewitched as an animated series. We met up with the guy who produced it, William Asher, who was married to the star Elizabeth Montgomery, but he didn't have the rights, so it didn't work out. But then I got a call from Fred Silverman, who of course was actually head of programming at CBS at the time, who was on vacation now in Mexico and had been looking through a stack of Archie comics. He said, "Did you know that your friend Goldwater already has a Teenage Witch character in the Archie books?" And that was how we decided to do Sabrina. Now, the show's opening strapline is, "Once upon a time, there were three witches who lived in the little town of Riverdale. Two aunts, Hilda and Zelda, are choosing the ingredients to create an evil, wicked witch. But suddenly, Zelda bumped right into Hilda and accidentally added beautiful girl stuff as an extra ingredient." Yeah, kind of think this as like a precursor to the Powerpuff Girls story in a way. Thus, the grooviest teenage witch was born. She has white hair. Well, that's what her hair looked like originally in the comics and what have you. Not, and well, as to we saw her as blonde in the live action series with Melissa Joan Hart in the '90s and into the early 2000s. Anyway, with a pink headband and blue eyes, and she wears a blue dress with a black belt and black shoes. She loves to goof off and battle evil forces using her ultra magical powers. It so happens that she is the first bewitching American superhero, Sabrina the Teenage Witch. Now, the series follows the teacher character who likes to hang out with her friends at Riverdale High and fight enemies using her magical powers. She does not let her friends discover her secret. Now, of course, the series was aimed primarily towards young girls ages 6 to 14 and contained an adult laugh track. Following its first season, the series was reduced to a half-hour screen time when a spin-off came along from the series that featured her cousins, the Groovie Goolies, which I will talk about next weekend. Now, of course, Filmation did bring Sabrina back in the new Archie and Sabrina Hour, which I talked about that when I talked about Archie's Funhouse. Anyway, now then, the series when it was itself was originally started on September 12th, 1970. Of course, it's really big for Filmation. Hal Sutherland directed, Lou Scheimer along with Norm Prescott were producers, and it does have great music and, of course, a memorable theme song. I rarely don't say, but I do know the words to the theme, and it is good. But you can check it out though on YouTube. Anyway, each week Sabrina gets into all sorts of fun-filled misadventures, even with the Archie gang, yes, who also appear in the series. Of course, characters from the comics do appear. Now, of course, aside from Aunt Hilda and Aunt Zelda, there's also Miss Della, the head witch, as well as Sabrina's boyfriend, Harvey Kinkle, and lots of other characters, including, let's see, there's Spencer and Ophelia. Yeah, a couple of other Sabrina's friends. And then, of course, there's her crazy cousin Ambrose, who absolutely is a real character throughout this series. If you see him, that is. Kind of did my impression of him. But anyway, I've watched this show and it's very funny. I do like when Sabrina does her little tug of her ear, just kind of like what we see Samantha doing her nose twitch on Bewitched. But anyway, I thought this show was absolutely funny and hysterical. I love it. Sabrina does have to say a little chanting spell to it, or something like that. Sometimes as well. Maybe not every time, but yes. There was after an overall total of 31 episodes with two 11-minute segments per show. The show had ended. But continued in reruns until 1974 and then later in primetime as a syndicated series. Anyways, Sabrina brings to us all sorts of fun things. Now, her show was actually shown in a regular solo form, but of course, the first, let's see, I'm trying to check, 17 episodes, which contain two cartoons for an overall total of 34. Actually aired as part of the Archie Comedy Hour. And then soon, later on, the next ones would be aired for Sabrina and the Groovie Goolies. And the first 12 episodes had two parts, except for the last four. Anyways, this show is absolutely really good. If you like the Archie series, you'll definitely love the Sabrina tune. You will absolutely love it, and it's very funny. For our cast of voice actors, we have Jane Webb voicing the titular character, as well as Aunt Hilda, Aunt Zelda, and Miss Della, the head witch. She also reprises her voices from the Archie series, including Betty Cooper, Veronica Lodge, Miss Grundy, and Big Ethel. Of course, she also lends her voice to one of the Groovie Goolies, as we would see later on, and Bella Lugosi. Again, I'll talk about them next weekend. Then we have the late great Dallas McKinnon, once again doing the voice of Archie Andrews, as well as the vocal effects of Hot Dog, Mr. Werribee, Pop Tate, Mr. Lodge, Coach Cleats, and many others. And of course, he also did the sound effects for Salem, who unfortunately, unlike the Melissa Joan Hart live action series, he does not talk. Don Masick voices Harvey Spencer as well as another canine in the form of Chili Dog. Treva Frazee voices Ophelia. John Irwin, still long before he voiced He-Man, but of course, he was also well known for voicing Morris the Cat. Of course, we sadly lost him last year. He voices Cousin Ambrose. He also once again voices the prankster of Riverdale High, Reggie Mantle. And he also voices Hexter, another mischief maker, who of course Miss Della has to have Sabrina take care of. Let's see. Well, now Irwin voiced Ambrose for the first year, and then Howard Morris took over the role for the next season. Morris also once again lent his voice to Jughead Jones and Big Moose Mason, plus a new character of a dog, Hot Dog Jr. But he also lent his voices to the various other ghostlies at the Groovie Goolies, including Frankie, Wolfie, Fido, Dr. Jekyll and Hyde, Mummy, Hauntleroy, Orville, and many others. Larry D. Mann voices Bonaparte, a very funny character, who, of course, Mann was well known for voicing the Blue Racer for the Patty Freeling, as well as be the voice of Rusty Tin Man and the Wicked Witch in Tales of the Wizard of Oz, and most people would remember him as the voice of Yukon Cornelius from Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. And finally, another actor we had recently lost, Larry Storch, voices Drac Hagatha, Gulahan, Batso, and Ranso, two other mischievous characters, but I'll talk more about them in this when I talk about the Groovie Goolies. Yeah, it was just so wow. Anyway, now to find the series on physical media, it's very easy. Genius Prize released the, the series in 2018 in a complete series form. They also put out a single disc containing 5 episodes, which contained 2 short stories. Which, of course, Universal had, I think, re-released what could have been the same thing under the title Magical Antics. In 2017, Universal re-released the complete series. Now, I'm pretty sure you can find this for a good price. If so, then I'd say this will be worth putting right into your DVD collection. Now, I only have the solo disc containing the first 5 episodes with 10 cartoons. But I've seen the rest of the series. You can find the series on YouTube, so that's probably your best chance to find this great show. Believe me, I think you'll enjoy it. Just don't get mixed. Just don't get mixed up with the later Sabrina the Animated Series that Deke produced at the height of the success of its live action counterpart. Now then, let me go ahead and give you what a little bit of a look at what you can expect from this. Now here's a shot of Sabrina and Salem from this one episode, and this is kind of where she enters Salem in a pet show. Here's a shot of Sabrina and Aunt Hilda and Aunt Zelda. This was from the episode The Basketball Game. Now here's a look at some artwork, cell artwork of Sabrina and their friends. Now, I know I couldn't give it to you in the best quality, but I could point out that somebody actually spelled Ophelia's name as Myrtle instead. I think that might have been the lesson. But Spencer's the other boy you see, and of course the black-haired kid is Harvey. Anyway, Sabrina's absolutely very wonderful and what have you. Now I'll give you a brief look at one. I'm sorry this will actually have a little bit of eBay print on there, but I think you'll manage to see it. Here's a little artwork here, and you see Chili Dog and Hot Dog Jr. plus Salem and Cousin Ambrose. Now you can tell the sparkles right there. This is Sabrina giving a tug of her ear, and when she gets ready to zap a little magic into some situation or something like that. And just for fun of it, she also likes to fluff up her hair or something like that, and gives us a wink as well in some episodes. Love that about her. Okay, that about covers it. Okay, sorry everyone. I just couldn't help myself. But anyway, so now you know about the original Sabrina the Teenage Witch. This is a show I would definitely recommend you look into, and I think you'll really like it. If you've already seen the Melissa Joan Hart series, then and you never knew this existed, or if you've seen the Sabrina the Animated series and you never knew this existed, shame. Check this out. You can find the series on YouTube. If the DVDs are at good, reasonable prices, then I think you can add those to your collection as well. If you're a big time fan of Sabrina, or if you're a Filmation fanatic, or if you were a big fan of the Archie series Filmation gave us, then this would be worth looking into. So, what did you think of the original Sabrina the Teenage Witch? Let me know in the comments section below. If you like this video, click the like button, subscribe, and be a part of the Big D Nation. Continue to help support my channel, and you know the rest. And join me later tonight when I bring to you a spoiler-free review of the new Tron Ares. And expect an out theater reaction later in the day as well. So if you like this, check out the Saturday Morning TVLog Revisited bits for the Archie series that I've recently done. In the upper left hand corner, check out my revisited bit of the Archie show, the one that started all. The upper right hand corner is the episode I did on the Archie's Funhouse series. Or if you'd like a little more witchy fun, check out my revisited TV log on Bewitched in the bottom left hand corner. And the bottom right hand corner is the button you can click to subscribe if you like rankings and reviews on movies, TV, music, video games, etc., as well as the Saturday Morning TV log. Then I'm your guy. And don't forget, next week will be another revisit Saturday Morning TVLog, and it's on the Groovie Goolies. So until next time, I'm the Big D saying, see ya.